Hi everyone, I'm here this afternoon with Rob Melin from Australian Accounting and Franchising Professionals. Rob has a very successful accounting business based in Brisbane and in Sydney, I think, Rob, isn't it? Yes,
right.
So he's international, well, national anyway. Look, I've known Rob for some years and I thought it'd be great to get him in and have a chat, particularly at the moment where we've got this dreadful virus which is causing a lot of financial grief. Rob, somebody comes along to you that's thinking of buying a franchise, what should they look for? I mean, what's the very first thing you would say to them if they said, Rob, I'm thinking of buying that franchise there?
The first thing would be, you've got to get a business that's going to pay yourself a good salary for doing a fair day's work, and the second one is to make more. And by investing in the right business, that's where you can make more. And the idea is to develop and improve the business so it can make a lot more over many years. That's the starting point.
And when you say more, where would you put that money? Or what are you going to do with it?
Well, the thing is, every business will reinvest money back into their business. They have to. The second part is you've got to pay taxes. Sadly, taxes are part of life. But the third bit is returns and dividends that the owners of a business can get for investing in that business. Now that should be put away either to pay off debt, private debt first, or put into superannuation to provide for your retirement. So a good business is making good salaries for the owners, can also make good profits to create a better way of life and to create wealth.
Okay, so what you've just told me is good, that's good information, but if I want to buy a greenfield, it's not a business, it's a dream. So I'm looking at a piece of land that's got a fence around it.
Yeah.
It's called a franchise, it does whatever it does, and I want to buy that, and I'm going to make it worth whatever I want it to make it. Who I'm buying it from, what should I look for to make sure that that bit of dirt is the right bit of dirt?
The starting point is you will not be the first, you will not be the last. So there's going to be people who have already invested within that franchise in greenfield sites. So you find out how they've gone, what have they done, and learn from their mistakes or their successes to figure out what's going to work. Equally, it's going to be finding out what the other existing franchises are. That's the great thing of a good franchise system, where you can find out good information from all those that are in it. And if you can, that can at least help make sure. Then, of course, it's going to be the usual research. You've just got to get as much research from whatever sources you can to support why this territory, why this location, and why me will make a difference to make it successful.
That's fantastic. So the level of investment certainly has some effect on the potential return.
Yes.
A franchise term is usually 5 years.
Yes.
So if I come along to you and said, Rob, I want to buy that franchise, it's a 5x5.
Yeah.
At what point should I be looking at break even and get my investment back?
Well, the simple fact is you've got 5 years. Anything beyond that's a bonus, because you just don't know what will happen. Look at the world today. We've got COVID. Who would have thought about that happening, a 1 in 100 year event? We're seeing a lot of these 1 in 100 year events happening, whether it be fires, floods, famine, all sorts of things, and terrible things are happening. So we come back for a moment. You got 5 years to make it work. That's how you got to do it. You've got to recover the cost of investment in 5 years. So very simply, that requires a return on about 30% per annum. If you do that over 5 years, you've got enough money in, pay out your taxes, to come back with just recovering the costs. So the problem is, in the first year or two, it's hard to make that money in a business because you're establishing it. So that means what we're seeing is years 2 and 3 start pumping and doing really well, because you figured out how to run a business, you figured out how to run the franchise best in the particular area and territory you're working in. From that perspective is where you make good money. Now, if all goes well, by year 5, you should have recovered by making good profits to recover that initial investment. Then the opportunity is right. Now that I've just got it going really well, how can I make more wealth? That's where the next 5 years comes in, where that second 5 year period is worked to use the efforts that you've made and the blood, sweat and tears you've had to get somewhere, to create the right lifestyle that you want going forward, and to create also a retirement lifestyle by putting monies away now for the future later.
So how important is support? So, I'll buy that territory, I've got 5 years to do what you said.
Yeah.
And I've got to do it on my own, as it were. But the brand that I buy, I would expect some support to help me get there and show me the path to my personal wealth.
I think all for one for all is the best summary that I can use. A franchise system is brilliant because it helps you doing things for yourself, but using others who have been there, done that, to help you get there. You've got mentors, you've got supporters, you've got colleagues who are franchisees, you've got the franchisors team who are there. Their job's quite simple, to help you get better. You'd be an idiot not to use it. You actually pay fees to a franchisor, so it makes sense to get the value, and I think that's why I use the term use and abuse in the right way. If you're going to pay monies, you do more to get more back. Equally, if you give and get involved in a system, you will get, I think, at least threefold back. So for every one of your effort, you'll get 3 back if you do it right. And I reckon that's the value of a great system. If you do nothing in the system, how can you expect to get anything back? So you've got to contribute, you've got to be in it to win it. And I reckon that's the thing, because most systems will only do better if their franchisees do better. So it's in a combined benefit. If the team at a franchisor work to help a franchisee and the franchisee works to help the franchisor, everybody wins, everybody creates profits, everybody creates money, everyone creates wealth. And that's what I think is good for franchising.
It's a great story. Thanks for coming in, Rob.
You're welcome.